Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Cedric. Welcome back to the studio. In today's episode, we're gonna be checking out Playbeat 3 by Audio Modern. Now, I've had it for a couple weeks and it took me a bit of time to really understand what you can do with this. I think it's really cool. There's a lot of things you can do with it. So I'm really excited to get started. Let's get into it. All right, so I got Playbeat opened up. This is a brand new plugin to me. I've heard of Playbeat 2, but I've never tried it out. Now, the great thing about this plugin is there is a free trial for you to try out, whether you have Windows, Mac, or I think even iPads. A free trial for Windows and Mac. So not for the iPad, but there is the option for the iPad, which is really dope. And if you have version 1 or 2, if you upgrade it, it's like 19 euros. If you don't have Playbeat and you're buying it, it's 59 euros. But again, before you spend your hard-earned money, try the free trial. I'm gonna give you guys a quick tutorial, but if you need a full-on extensive tutorial, they do have one available on the Audio Modern YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I checked this out, it was a bit overwhelming. I didn't understand everything you're able to do, but after trying it out for a couple days, I've realized it's not as intimidating. So as soon as you open it up, there's nothing loaded up. So even if I load in a pattern, you're not gonna hear anything. I think it's a metronome. What you gotta do is load in some presets. So this is the beta preset pack. Let's just try one of them. We can scroll through different packs. What I like to do, I head over to load and click on samples down here. I've imported my own samples, which is something I recommend everyone do. Nothing wrong with the beta pack, and I believe there are some packs to purchase on the Audio Modern website. What I personally like to do is bring in my own kicks, my own snares, claps, hi-hats, all that good stuff. So that's what I've done. I've categorized all my one-shots. So I've got my 808s, claps, hi-hats, kicks, percussion, rim shot, and snares. So I have the pack preset 10 opened up as we speak. I can just get rid of all the samples and bring in my own. So for sample 1, we're gonna bring in a kick. Not only can you audition your samples, but you can also save your favorites. So let's just create our own drum rack. So that's gonna be our kick. Let's go to claps. That works. I'll probably use a couple hats. Let's bring in some percussion. Okay, so let's head back. So now let's take a listen to this groove. So my BPM is 147. It's synced to what I have set in Ableton. So we got our mixer up top, so we can open that up and make adjustments. You can go from 16 bar to a 32 bar, and you can even do less if you want. Like we can go to an 8 bar by adjusting this fader here. So we can go to as little as 1, all the way back up to 32 bars. This icon allows you to clear the entire deck, which actually, no, I feel like it'll be easier to explain certain things once we start creating a drum loop. Now we can always click on the generate button, which is the big red button. Now with this generate button, you can generate an entire groove. So let's just hear that. Now you notice you have a minimum and maximum. With a minimum and maximum, what I'm telling Playbeat to do is, with all 8 samples, I want a minimum of 3 notes and a maximum of 4. So we can increase that up to, I guess, 32. Yeah, let's increase that to a maximum of 10 and a minimum of 4. Let's see what this sounds like. Now, what I like to do is, if I'm gonna use the generate icon, I like to, instead of generate all, you are able to generate specific grooves for every sample. And I think that's the best way to go when you're trying to create a groove. This is what I mean. Let's go ahead and clear everything. And let's start focusing. Oh, let's go back to all and clear all. Let's click on the generate for the kick. And let's see what we come up with. See, that's not bad. So I might have. I'm just gonna head over to the volume section because I'm noticing some of the kicks aren't as loud as others. So if you take a look, the first kick is softer than, say, the 4th kick. So I can decide to reset that by clicking on this button right here. Right now I have a minimum of 90. So the kick can be as soft as 90, it could be as loud as 127. I can go to fixed, I can increase that, decrease that. So you can see you can easily adjust the volume. You can also adjust the pitch. So again, I can choose to have that fixed, right? So let's undo that because I kind of like the pitch going up and down. Let's go back to steps, and now let's add our clap. So now I'm going to focus on channel 2. Now let's generate, I might have a maximum of 3 and a minimum of 2. Let's see how that sounds like. You know what, I'm just going to do this manually. I'm just going to solo the clap. You can hear the difference in pitch, right? All right, let's keep going. Let's go back to steps. Let's bring in some hats. This is one of the hi-hats, so we're going to increase this to a maximum of 10. Let's generate. So I kind of like this right here, and I think this has to do with the density. If I take a look, yeah. So the density, it's like instead of just one hit, it's giving me 4 hits. That is one hat. Now we're going to channel 4. Let's add quite a bit of hats. Now this is where I might go to the mixer, and let's solo. Yeah, let's turn that down. Now let's bring in the 5th hat. This is an open hat, so and you know what? I'm just gonna bring in some more hats for the hats. Just keep it all the same. Let's fix it. So already I'm hearing things I would have never created with just the hats, mainly because of the density. So that's pretty dope. What do we have next? This is percussion. Yeah, that works. Oh, by the way, you have solos and mutes. So let me just solo channel number 7. And then I'm gonna turn that down. Lastly, we have channel 8 with a snare. Let's generate. Yeah, that's not good. That's better. All right, so now that we've kind of created a drum loop, let's bring in one of my samples from Sweet Scale, Sample Pack Volume 1. Let me turn off the metronome. Now you'll notice these numbers down here. What I can do is, now that I've created a loop, I can save that pattern by using one of these numbers. So I'm just gonna go to an open number. Let's save it under preset number 14. So now I can try out some of the other presets I've saved. You'll notice that the sample rate for channel 1 isn't the same as 2 to 8. That's because if we click on it, you'll see that the sample rate is 1/4, and then channel 2 to 8 is 1/16. Exporting is very simple. You can export stems. Let's say I have a drum rack and I want to export the stems to a drum rack. I can do that using MIDI. Or if I want to export all the audio files into one specific channel, or every stem individually. So that's how easy it is to use Playbeat. There are some other features like you can MIDI map and whatnot. It's great features to have. It's not a feature I would use. Now, I know there are a lot of producers out there that are kind of set in their ways when it comes to making drums. And to be honest, I'm one of those producers. I don't think I would use Playbeat too much for my kicks, snares and claps. But if you've watched me make music in the past, you typically see that I like to use top loops. I'll still bring in my kicks, I'll still bring in my claps, my hi-hats, all that good stuff, but I like to use a top loop in the background. You can barely hear it, but it just adds to the rhythm of the beat. And this is how I see myself using Playbeat. This is what I mean. We're gonna get rid of everything. Go back to load. I'm gonna get rid of all my samples. So I've been working on a new remix, and this is what I have so far. Like I said, I'm stuck in my ways. I like to bring in my own kicks, my own claps. It's just what I'm accustomed to doing. So I have a drum rack with just a kick and a clap. Let's bring that in. Right, so it sounds really dope. What I would use Playbeat for is the top loops I was mentioning. So I'm gonna go back over to my samples. I'm gonna go over to hats. I'm just gonna bring in a few, say like 3 or 4 hats, and I'm gonna bring in some percussion, maybe a rim shot, and I'm gonna create my own top loops. And I love this because, I mean, yes, I do have a ton of loops, but there's nothing better than creating your own. And this is great because you can easily generate your own top loops by using Playbeat. This is what I mean. Let's bring in a couple hats. I got 4 different hats. I'm gonna bring in a couple different percussions, and then let's bring in 1 rim shot. Head back over to the steps. See, this is where I could see myself being on the Alt tab and clicking on the generate button, because they're all tops. Let's hear what this sounds like. Let's generate something new. And that took no time at all. I really like the sample number 5. I want to have some fun with the density. Let's get a triplet here. You know what I'm saying? That sounds pretty dope. And let's go back to steps and increase some of these hats. Let's just adjust the mixer. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, that's lit, and this is how I see myself using Playbeat in the future. So that's a wrap for this episode. I do want to thank Audio Modern for sponsoring this video. What are your thoughts? Like I said before, I definitely see myself using this for tops. I can see people using this for bongos, drum fills. You can really get creative with it and come up with a ton of ideas. Listen, there are plenty of exciting things coming up in the near future, so make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification. It's your boy Cedric. Appreciate y'all. Signing out. See you in a future episode.